So the premiere episode of House of the Dragon is finally on HBO Max, and as a big fan of Game of Thrones, up to a point, I think a lot of us felt that way, I was very curious to see where this show would go. And this show follows the story of the House Targaryen set around 200 years before the events of Game of Thrones. And in this first episode, Viserys hosts a tournament to celebrate the birth of his second child, while Rhaenyra welcomes her uncle Daemon back to the Red Keep. And before we get further into the review, I do want to give a special thank you to the sponsor for this video, Zynga. Game of Thrones Slots Casino is an officially licensed free-to-play social casino game available on the Google Play Store and Apple App Store. This is an officially licensed game with no hard currency within the game. You don't win any real money. If you're a fan of Game of Thrones, check it out. They're running a week-long campaign called Week of the Dragon from August 17th to August 26th to celebrate the launch of the new Game of Thrones series, House of the Dragon. One special event is Rule by Fire, a 3-day event where groups of players spin on any machines to collectively destroy scorpions and complete the challenge and earn rewards. And after you reach level 5, the Dragon of Westeros is a dragon pet that unlocks. Players are granted a dragon egg to hatch and raise their own dragon. The dragon becomes bigger and stronger the more players interact with it. During the Week of the Dragon celebration, they'll be giving away 10 swag boxes in the US only. Players can enter for free via a Google form. Items included in the themed box are a hat, JBL Clip 4, coaster set, USB travel plug, and Camelback camp mug. One of the features I'm looking forward to during the week-long celebration is getting my dragon up to level 5. I'll acquire more dragon actions, get more spins, and also give my dragon a unique name. And you can use my link below to download Game of Thrones Slots Casino today. So thanks very much to Zynga for sponsoring this video. Let's keep talking about House of the Dragon. My anticipation for this show was very low. I binged Game of Thrones pretty quickly. I was glad that I did because the show ended in a way that was less than satisfying. But leading up to that finale, I really enjoyed myself, and I found myself pretty immersed in the world. And I'm not very well versed in George R.R. Martin's books, although I respect him immensely and think he's a genius. So watching the first episode of the show, I'm approaching it not as a fan of the books, but as someone who needs to be hooked. I need to be convinced that I should still be watching a Game of Thrones related property after the last season disappointed me like it did. And I'm honestly nothing but surprised at the quality of this first episode. I thought it was really damn good. They do so much with the characters so quickly in really just about an hour. You learn so much about the backstories and the current goals of each and every one of these characters. Matt Smith, who portrays Daemon, who is quite the asshole. This guy loves violence, blood, and sex and politics, which is Game of Thrones, basically. So he's going to fit in really well. And his niece, Rhaenyra, played by Millie Alcock, was fantastic. Her father, Viserys, played very well by Paddy Considine, sorry if I said his name wrong, has always looked down on her somewhat for being a girl. He's wanted a male heir to the throne for many years and has tried, but has yet to achieve that successfully over the course of this episode. Without getting into too much spoilers, it's still very difficult for him. And so she's in a place where she's been raised to believe that she is inferior in some capacity, simply because she's a girl and she lives in a society that doesn't really understand female leadership. And I was honestly pretty amazed at just how much character the writers were able to build with each and every one of these people in just about an hour. I understand what every one of them wants. I understand what's standing in their way. It's also filled with a lot of tragedy and some really gory moments that even as someone who's seen all of Game of Thrones was fairly shocked by. But with this show, I'm just going in as a fan of good storytelling. I don't have expectations to be met as this massive Game of Thrones fanatic or as a fan of the books. I just want to see a really well-made and well-written show. The first episode seems to suggest that we might be getting that. Also, I think it might be time to retire the whole prequels are bad thing. There's this sort of stigma around prequels that they're just always bad. It's a bad idea. I mean, look at Better Call Saul. Look at Ouija 2, Annabelle Creation. I think the argument before was that when you know how something is going to turn out, if you have characters that are involved with what you already know they're going to do, the tension goes away, or you're just waiting for certain things to happen that you really want to see happen. But I think with shows like Better Call Saul and some of the movies I mentioned, as well as some other great prequel material, there's definitely an argument to be made now against the statement that prequels are just a bad idea. And if this show ends up being successful, then that will only hammer the point home even more. This first episode left off all of the characters in a place where they're unpredictable. I don't exactly know what they're going to do. And that's a sign of a great pilot episode. I went in not really knowing what to expect, and I am excited to see more. I don't know if I'll review every episode, but I'll probably do like a season 1 recap at some point if I have the time to do that. Anyway, guys, let me know what you thought of the first episode of House of the Dragon below. Thank you so much as always for watching. Look forward to more videos very soon, and if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.